Hi guys, thanks for clicking in to watch Sunday Night Worship tonight. My name's April Van Ryan, and I'm going to be talking tonight about God's faithfulness and His presence in the midst of hardships in life. Bear with me, I'm going to be looking at my computer screen, so I'll be looking a little bit off to the side. So to start out, my family and I have experienced our own share of hardships and trials throughout my lifetime. Through all these trials, I could feel God's presence and His strength within me in order to get through them. However, I never understood the why question behind God's plan and why sometimes His plan wasn't at all what I had hoped or thought it would be. Again and again, God reminded me of His faithfulness and presence in the midst of trials and anxieties. During my senior year of high school and freshman year of college, I experienced a significant amount of anxiety and felt as though I had to be in control of my life, rather than giving everything up to God. Once I got to Trinity, I soon found success in my running career, qualifying for NAIA Nationals and becoming an All-American, both of which had been a dream come true. However, I had put so much focus on running and racing that I had put my relationship with God on the back burner, without even noticing it. I was struggling with my anxiety daily, which caused me to isolate myself a lot during my first year at Trinity. The summer after my freshman season of running, I injured my hip during one of my training runs. I thought nothing of it and tried to keep running on it. However, I soon found out that was not the smartest thing to do. It became hard to even walk on my hip, and I was scared of what the future might hold. Scared because running had become such a big part of my life, and I was afraid what would happen if I couldn't do what I loved to do so much. I saw my orthopedic doctor, and he suggested we get an MRI. So I took 2 weeks off of running and then got an MRI. A few days later, I was called to come into his office to see the results. The MRI showed a hip labral tear, which I found out required surgery and at least 6 months of recovery. I was devastated, and I couldn't feel God's presence and why he would take away my running ability for that year. I cried a lot during this time and questioned God. I was angry and frustrated, and I slipped further and further from God. I soon had a meeting with Coach Bob. He reassured me that running was not all I could contribute to the team. Instead, I could be an encourager, a friend, and simply a teammate for everyone who had been there for me during my freshman year of running. Coach Bob showed me a picture during our meeting that stated, "When you feel as though you've been buried, perhaps you've been planted. Bloom where you are planted." After that meeting with him, it became clear to me that perhaps God has given me this injury to awaken me, and as a, quote, blessing in disguise, so that I could draw closer to Him and rebuild my faith in God. My favorite verse became very relevant during this time in my life. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 states, "But He said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness.' Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." I soon learned that God didn't need me to be strong on my own. Instead, He was calling to show my weaknesses, so that His strength and faithfulness would prevail and be shown to me. Throughout my year of recovery and injury, I began to find myself outside of simply being April the runner. I focused more on others and how I could help them rather than focusing on myself and my own needs. God also blessed me during this time through meeting my boyfriend Ryan, and he has helped me immensely with my anxiety and feelings of my own insecurities. Ryan has helped me stand firm in my faith and holds me accountable for my relationship with God, as well as our relationship together growing closer to God. Once I started dating Ryan, we began to attend Outcry and Chapel together, both of which helped me grow closer to God and my friends. This is another example of God's faithfulness through the unexpected ways. The community at Trinity is like none other. We show up for each other, and worshiping our God together is truly beautiful. I want to share the verse I stated earlier once again, 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weaknesses. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me." Trinity, I know that our school year did not end up the way that we had all hoped and planned it would. And as hard as this all is, God is still faithful. His strength prevails even when we are weak and when we don't have all the answers. But God has all the answers. I'm not too sure as to the why question behind the pandemic, and to be honest, I don't think anyone is. But I want to remind you all how great and mighty the God is that we serve. As I finish up, I want to challenge you all to surrender your control and your want for control over your life and your weaknesses to God in the midst of the unknown, and see God's blessings and His plan for your life unfold. Thank you for listening, and I pray for all of you that you would stay safe and connected to your Trinity community, even from miles apart. Thanks again.